Morning guys, this is not the weather to go and riding, but however, here's an Aerox 50cc. This video is long, so get yourself a cup of tea or some popcorn and watch it. Some really good handy tips about the variator system, starter and usual carburetor and so on, but it gets running anyway. So sit down, enjoy the whole video guys. This is the end product. It now starts very nicely. I've got some new decals coming, but 50cc Aeroxes, they are nice little bikes, even in the snow. So, guys, subscribe and like at the end of it, please, and enjoy the video. Right, morning guys, gloves are on. Today we're looking at a Peugeot, no we're not. Morning guys, today we're looking at Yamaha's Aerox 50cc. Done a few of these before. They are in my videos, so have a watch of them as well. But today we're going to be looking at this one. Just came into me last night. When I ever get a bike, I always blah blah talk shit. Morning guys, today we're going to be talking about Yamaha Aerox 50cc. This was Yamaha's attempt to battle the Peugeot Speed Fight. Speed Fight came out first. Twin seat, which is always a little bit better than the single seat. This was realistically made for this market here in England, I guess, where the Peugeots you could put two people on them. Obviously not if you're 16 and so on. But this was this version, water cooled. Generally they're a lot faster than the old Speed Fights. These generally did up to about 60 miles an hour. You can get at some of these. Don't 70 kit them. There's no sense. When people start 70 kit them, they always go wrong. They don't last very long. You have to start mixing the oil and petrol together. Yeah, as you know, I don't like 70 kits. These are pretty fast little bikes, I'm honest with you. Twin front shocks compared to the single, which is always the plague of the Peugeot Speed Fight, really. But this one, tyres are good, brakes are good as well, suspension's good on this one. I've noticed this little wire here, so when I did turn it on, the back light's not coming on. So you should be able to turn on this, and as you put this one, the back light comes on. And this one, it does here. First turn over, nothing. Oh, okay, that don't sound too good. Let's see if she kicks over. Oh, she kicks over all right, so piston should be good. Obviously, I'll do a compression test on that as well. That horrible grinding noise. On my other videos, I've shown you the system running, which is the variator, clutch, belt, and so on. On these ones, you can take this side panel off the engine case, and you can turn it over. You can get to see the Bendex and the starter motor all there. On the Speed Fights, it will just fall out. So I'll be able to mess around with that one. It just sounds really dry, and generally if it sounds dry it's because it hasn't really got any petrol running through it. This has been sitting for a very long time, so I'm going to take it apart. Again, a little bit harder to work on the Speed Fights. It's not a simple case of lifting this up with three little bolts. You have to take these back panels off and get the bucket out, and it's connected to the cable because the cable works on the front key. When you're getting that off, remember to spread over WD-40 around this bit here, because that jams up and you're never going to get the bucket up. You won't get a helmet in there. You can sometimes in a Speed Fight. Petrol's at the back, oil's at the front here underneath the little panel you have here where the battery is. Remember I always put the battery on charge, that one is bubbling away on charge now. It's been sitting, as I said, a long time. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't mind these at all. They're genuinely, you know, I've seen some of these really high jacked up, some tall lads ride them. With the Speed Fight, I preferred them. You could sit further back, and you've got little pegs you can sit here. You can put your feet on here, but generally you find that even a short lad like me, my knees are up here. So God knows how some tall lads ride these, and say they do jack them up a lot. I've seen some really jacked up. Indicators and stuff work on this one, so it's not too bad. It will do with a nice little polish, and we can go from there. So today is just a simple first look. Kick over as I did. I'll take the side panel off. I'll get all these panels off, clean the carburetor up, and go from there really. So it's just a quick look. I do quite like them. They're fun to work on, not as easy, but they do go well. So let's get on with it, shall we? Right, what seems an eternity to get all these off. They're just over there. And to get this off as well, and that's what I was trying to say. See, it's just all gone. I'll just rub all that down. I'll put a bit of tape over that, and I'll spray it all over. I'll give that a spray with WD under there for mechanism. Yeah, here's the mechanism here. There's the starter, which is quite easy to see back there. Okay, so that's the starter.
And then here we have the mechanism. Reverse like the Bendix on this one. This one's bolted in. Very nice and clean. Belt looks okay. Variator, I'm going to have that off and then look at the rollers. And obviously the clutch, which I've shown you a test them before, which is just get your hands in there, make sure it's nice and tight, which it is. Give it a bit of WD-40 on that as well, clean all that up. And we'll see why it wasn't turning over very nicely. And it's nice and simple. I've done one on here before about this little bugger here, the carburetor. So we're going to take that off, give it a good clean. The airbox is just in here, a bit harder to get hold of, but we'll take that off, give it a wash and a clean. And reconnect this little bit here, which I showed you on the picture. There, that's the little micro switch that should be connected in here. So someone's pulled that off for whatever reason, or they could have knocked it off by mistake. So we'll get on with that. Nice and simple, isn't it? Say, I'll keep on about the old speed fights. That's what I like doing normally, and they're a lot easier to work on. A few more bolts though. Just remember, some of these bolts are longer and shorter. So if you've got a camera phone, which everybody has nowadays, take a picture. Here's the bolts for the this cover here. This one goes in the middle, and there's a few other longer ones. I mean, it's not the biggest deal if you get them in the wrong hole, because you just notice it won't turn up and the other one will be pushed out. But it helps sometimes if you put them or lay them out the same way that you had them. It's always helpful. Battery now is fully charged, so that's all good. And yeah, let's get on with cleaning the carburetor. If you ever wonder how to get the variator off of a Aerox, this is how I do it. A decent set of mole grips and clip it to the outside, and then obviously my long old bar here, and I hold the mole grips and I just literally turn that and it comes off every single time. You haven't got to mess around with a claw hammer on this one or have a specialised tool. Now, someone actually wrote to me a while ago and said that it was spinning round. The back here is spinning round, but it's not connecting up. So it's a little bit of pulleys and so on. So I'm going to get that off, clean up and have a look. There's it off. Someone's played around with this one. These little bits here are supposed to be in there. But I just, you know, and there's also a little washer on this one. That can stay, unlike the Speed Fight, which slows it down. This one doesn't. So, variator. Can any of you YouTubers spot what's missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6. Why would someone put 5 rollers in it? And as I've done many videos before, guys, can you see that flat spot? Yep, that's not going to be going very fast at all. New rollers, chuck them. Anyway, so there we are here. I've got to figure out what's missing and what's been broken here. Mainly to replace that completely. But there you go. That's why it's always worth taking it off and having a look. Don't just assume that it'll be fine and to get the carburetor sorted, because there's a typical example, it wasn't. And the electric start on the system doesn't work either. So I'm going to have a good old clean up, find out what's wrong with that little spring system, and get it running. There we go. So, quick recap. I've just washed the air filter. I've always do this. You can do this a Speed Fight. It's only foam. Wash that with really hot water. Wash them out nice and clean. No need to pay another £5 to get another one. On these though, I will say, see this little bit here, that bit there, warm it up, will you? You must warm it up to get it back on the carburetor, because they can be a real bugger. They go quite hard, so I've often warmed up with warm water. This is off now, cleaned out, done many videos how to do that. On these ones I just take the pipe off, turn it upside down and then clean it and then put it back in again. That's your petrol, that's your vacuum. Remember, prime it, suck it back through again. This is now working, so them little things that fell out right at the back here, I've got them back on and timed it all back on there. Nice and simple. And I'll do the plug, give that a quick look under there. Yeah, you can see it looks brand new actually, but I'll make sure that's been put in right. When I find little things wrong, like there's only 5 rollers and that little bit there, I then go over everything. I just don't trust a person because they're likely to put the plug in, not tighten it up, or not put HT in, or something silly. And then I'll see if it starts. I've still got to do this little bit. I mean, just to get this on here, there we go. That little bit down there, the micro switch, to get this on, there's no way of doing it. You've got to take the whole damn thing off, so really annoying. Anyway, let's get on with it. So guys, you have to weigh up whenever getting a ped that the person you buy it from doesn't necessarily tell the truth. You know, it was just a wire, easy fix,
you have to weigh that into how much you're going to pay for the bike. And I always sort of try and factor that in. I believe the piston's gone than this actually, so a lot more work. But the starter, on these is a back plate with little like springs, 3 of them, and a tiny little weight on them, and that was pushed all around, so we put some springs in, fitted it all back together again. She turns over. All the front end has to practically come off just to get this tiny little switch in there. That was broken. I think I've got it somewhere now. Probably lobbed it. It was broken. It was just not going in properly, so the back brake wasn't working, which means you can't turn them over because you have to be on the back brake. Took the carburetor apart, and something you've always got to weigh up as well. On the auto choke, there's a little pin, as it were, that goes down the suction tube. While repairing and cleaning it, I snapped it. Throw away. So luckily I've got a spare one on one of the bikes I had outside, so I stuck that on there. But I do think, you know, you have to factor in. So what we've got now is brake works, you can see, and see, it sounds like it wants to go, but I do think it's the piston. It's not backfiring, but you can hear it, wants to go, and I don't think it'll ever go. So I'm going to take the exhaust off. Yes, it's water cooled, and yes, I've got some more panels to take up and take off, but I think that's the right thing to do. Even if it's not gone, I'm going to replace the piston anyway, because 32 on the clock is quite high. So let's get on with that. But yeah, you've always got to factor that in, guys, so do think about that. Right, let's get on with it. Yes, and everything has to come off just to get the damn thing off. Starting to look at a mess. Just a quick one, guys. When you get to sort of this bit here, and you find a little bit here, and you walk it back, and you see this thing here that then leads to nowhere as well, why don't you just take the damn thing off? This is the exhaust recirculation valve, or another acronym for it. Basically, when you've got the original exhaust on, it does something, yeah, for the gases, so it's more economical and better for the environment, and some pigeon somewhere will be happy. Anyway, it don't need it. Take the damn thing off. Can you see the exhaust is off now? Nice and easy that was to get off. And funny enough, I'm beginning to think definitely piston. When I took this off, I don't know if it's doing it now more, but you can see that was just loads of spent fuel in there, basically. So I'm getting more and more that it is most certainly the head. So there you go. On the old speed fights you get the pop noise, but not this one. Anyway, going to take the head off, have a look at the piston. But obviously you've got to move the carburetor out, move the oil bottle out as well. I say a lot of people take this off. I like them, they work fine. I'm going to get rid of the recirculation valve thingy-me-jiggy, and yeah, let's have a look at the piston. Oh yeah, don't forget to take the water out. Ugh. That's not a good colour, is it? So maybe best getting it out anyway. That's a little bit disgusting. So we'll definitely put some fresh, clean antifreeze in there. But remember, under the top bit here, you can get as much water out as you can. Make sure the pipes are pushed through. You don't want any water going in the pot. But again, unlike the speed fights, this one quite happily is vertically and not horizontal, so it will come out anyway. Right, let's have a look at the piston in a minute. Smug mode piston. Smug mode? Why? Smug mode. Why am I in smug mode? Well, what did I say? Piston. Let's go into daylight. Can you see, guys? Doesn't look too bad until you get round to the side. See that little burn there? Burn there? And there? That is enough to do it. So, why was I in smug mode? Because here I have a brand spanking new one. And there we go. Standard 50cc. And all of the bits as well. So, I was right. Done my smug mode. Let's get this piston in. I'm not going to connect these two back up to the carburetor. I'm just going to crisscross them back round again. Can you see in there, guys? That's a little bit crappy on top. Give that a little clean up, smudge up there. And then obviously I've left it that way. I can just pop that back in there, give it a clean, change the gaskets. I
I'll undo that pipe and take it off. I've got the gasket kit. And then let's get it all back together. Remember how you took the piston out? Okay, for this one, we undone that bit there, and this one came out that way. Okay, so your new piston has to go out on the same way, which is great because this one you can see the arrow pointing down. The down arrow means exhaust fumes out that way, so we knew it was correct in there. So let's get ready. So just remember, give that a good old clean. There's the old gasket and there's the new one. And the piston is in. You can see it there. Nice and shiny down there now. And then what I've said before, I can't do it with both hands, one hand to say, but yeah, turn it over just by using the kickstart. Make sure it goes up and down freely. Clean it all up, which I've just done. And I'll clean this all up and then I'll be putting it back together.
So, final bit, I guess, after a considerable amount of work, more than I want to do, I've got to do the carburetor yet. I have another carburetor. This is a non-standard carburetor, but it will do for a Aerox. I may put this one on because the one I got on now is only running. Oh, see, dead people. It's cold. I've had a lot of Aeroxes actually run without the airbox. I've had to put a sports filter on there before, and this carburetor is doing the same present minute. So I've literally put it back together again. I test started it, filled it full of water, and now we should have there you go. That's nice and simple, isn't it? Bloody cold today. 9th of February, I guess it's still freezing cold. So anyway, there we go, guys. I'll keep playing with the carburetor now. The spark plug was also, and I've done many videos of these, you know, don't underestimate a new spark plug. I put a second-hand one I had in there and it started much better, and I put a brand new one and that's much better. These are BR8 HSs. Speed Fights are BR7, these are 8s. And the numbers do the temperature, they can get a bit hotter. But there you go, and again, it seems a shame that I've got to take that carburetor off because it's running really well. Back wheel, really tight. I'm not going to see this, but really tight. I thought it was because it hadn't gone nowhere for a little while. I'm beginning to think now I might have to bleed the brake system because this is really quite tight. Maybe something to do where they thought while they undid the wires that the brake was on all the time or something. I don't quite know. Still cold. Right, guys, please like and subscribe. Check out these other videos that are going to pop up, or already have. Like and subscribe. Watch all my other Aerox ones, about 6 or 7 of them to be honest with you. Roughly all the same though, generally piston, brakes and so on. And check out the Speed Fight ones and other ones, guys. Please like, subscribe. Take care of yourselves on the road. Ta-ra, guys.